Orbea's exciting range of aggressive trail bikes has gone from strength to strength over the last few years, from their enduro and bike park styled Rallon, to their hardcore hardtail the Laufey, and their trail focused Occam, which this year has developed a bit of a split personality. Hi there guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're reviewing a fantastic full suspension trail bike ready to dispatch any trail that takes your fancy. Out on test today is the new Orbea Occam. Now this year there are in fact two Occams. There's an LT and an SL. The SL being a lighter, shorter travel bike, and the LT being a longer travel, more aggressive trail bike. Two distinct platforms for two different kinds of rider. This is the Occam LT M Team, the top tier in the Occam LT lineup. It's a 150mm travel bike with a 160mm fork up front, built on a super light full carbon fibre frame, using 29-inch wheels. It's got internal storage for snacks or tools, there's some very elegant cable routing in the headset, and there's neat features like a down tube and bottom bracket protection, and even a linkage concealed multi-tool. Steep and deep concept lets riders get full insertion for a 230mm dropper post on all frame sizes. We also have some geometry adjustment available to us in the form of a flip chip, which can be altered in as little as 15 seconds. So this really is an adjustment you can stop and make mid-ride if you feel the need. On the subject of geometry, this is pretty progressive for a bike in this category. We have a 64-degree head angle, plus half a degree with the flip chip. In its lowest setting, the reach is 450mm and the seat angle sits at 77 degrees. So this is very modern and on trend for trail bikes and enduro bikes at the moment. The Occam continues its use of a linkage-driven single pivot design, with its concentric axle pivot right at the back. Overall, it's an expertly made, very lightweight frame with decent geometry, plenty of suspension travel, and lots of great features that riders will find dead useful out on the trail, especially if they've been a bit of a spanner and not checked their saddle clamp bolts before heading off. Yeah, nice one. Our MT model is the very highest spec offered in the LT range, and that comes with Fox factory level suspension, Orbea's own carbon handlebar, a full SRAM T-Type AXS wireless drivetrain with matching code silver brakes, and a tried and tested Maxxis Minion DHF and Dissector tyre combo. Overall, it's a very tasty package and no one is going to be left wanting for on-trail performance. We tested the Occam at some of our favourite local riding spots. There's a great mix on offer with some energy-draining climbs and steeper technical descents, plus lots of fun natural off-piste stuff too. The suspension platform and geometry of the Occam historically lend themselves to being more focused on support than being super plush and sensitive, at least in our experiences, and what this leads to is a bike that climbs and pedals exceptionally well. Geometry numbers fall into what we've started calling the Goldilocks zone for trail bikes, i.e. not too slack, not too steep, it's just right for all-round riding and a variety of trails. Riders across all sizes are going to find the Occam's cockpit a pretty comfortable place to be. There's plenty of room, but we never felt stretched out. What you'll find is that the Occam LT is excellent at getting up and over trail features because of the support from the suspension design. Over small bumps, the coil shock helps keep things pretty smooth, and whilst the DHX2 has a climb lever, we never felt the need to try and find it. Fortunately, the Occam is relentlessly efficient, and the combination of the suspension design, the balanced geometry, and the lightweight frame mean you can really be aggressive on the pedals, so the bike accelerates rapidly. Our usual climbs felt a lot shorter thanks to just how well the Occam can climb. Like we mentioned earlier, the Occam feels more focused on support than being the most plush, impact-absorbing ride out there. Now this doesn't mean the ride is harsh, far from it. What this means is you get a bike that's poppy and lets you pump and work the trail easily to get up to speed very quickly. We've been out playing around on steeper, more natural tracks, so we really haven't been hitting hard, fast corners, but the steeper, more technical lines is where the Occam really shines. The enduro-inspired geometry makes for a great handling bike, offering lots of control when things get tighter and twistier. The longer reach helped keep us in a nice neutral position, and there's lots of traction and grip thanks to the suspension and the tyre choice. The Occam has a great blend of stiffness to make for a confident and yet predictable ride, but there's also enough flex in there to make it pretty forgiving and easy to get on with. Because this is a pretty light overall package, it's very easy to point the bike where you want and be picky with your line choice. Now we started this video by saying that this LT model was a more aggressive partner to the SL, and that there were two platforms for two different kinds of rider. Our first impressions of this bike are that despite the enduro-inspired geometry and the longer travel, this is not an aggressive all-mountain bike trying to be a mini enduro bike. It's a lot more refined than that, it's a lot more precise and nuanced, Yes, it's still a fast bike with lots of travel on offer, so you can go ride way more aggressive trails than your old trail bike would, but this new Occam is more balanced and more supportive. So it's well suited to lots of climbing and keeping you comfortable all day. But likewise, it's superb on steeper technical trails, and we get the feeling that we are just starting to tap into what this bike can really do. Because of the new stiffer frame, the Occam encourages you to push harder, let off the brakes, and attack the trails. Ultimately, this is a fast, efficient trail ripper that's got all the important bases covered without compromising one area in favour of being either an incredible descender or a perfect climber. The Occam gets the balance just right with its new geometry, suspension kinematics, and the choice of parts. When you factor all of this in with the useful features like the multi-tool, internal storage, frame protection, clean cable routing, and the geometry adjust, Orbea have put together a very modern, high-performance bike that's going to be a blast on pretty much all of your favourite trails. That's our first ride on the Orbea Occam LT. Let us know what you think in the comments and ask us any questions you have on the bike. Make sure you hit subscribe for more video reviews and give us a like if you enjoyed this video. That's all for this time. Make sure you head to uprisebikes.com for your next trail bike.